2A Michael J here, bringing you an update video. Today is April 12th, 2022. And I normally don't bring a whole lot of 2A news, but seeing that I am a pro 2A channel, I thought it was important enough at least to touch on, and that is Joe Biden's new 300 plus page rule on frames and receivers. And I think it's important, and there's a lot of good information out there. There's definitely better YouTube channels out there dissecting the whole thing. So this isn't going to be an expansive, comprehensive list of what the new rules and regulations are on it, but it's basically going after 80% lowers for at least the Glock platform. I think they're going to be going after the 80% lowers for the AR-15. Obviously, Joe Biden, the Democratic Party, have hard-ons, raging hard-ons for AR-15s, calling them assault rifles. But I think their main focus right now is the 80% lowers for the Glock platform. More specifically, the buy, build, shoot kits. Now, technically, I don't think they're outright banning 80% lowers, but, in the future, if you do purchase them, you can't purchase the whole kit together. And if you ever want to sell the gun, you're going to have to serialize it. I don't think it's such a big deal. What I do think is a big deal is the way they've worded frames and receivers in that new regulation, more or less. So, like I said, the Democratic Party, Joe Biden, he's already proved to us that he doesn't like AR-15s. He was a part of the assault rifle ban back in the early 2000s. I do believe this is just a way and a door into serializing upper receivers for the AR-15 platform. I don't think it's going to happen with this regulation, but it is worded in such a way that I think that is the long game. That is his plan in the future. And I've heard from other people, not going to affect me. I'm a law-abiding gun owner. I'll just have to, get a background check for the upper receiver. Why I think this is important is, one, it creates more of a registry. Being able to keep track of who is purchasing gun parts, whether it be an upper receiver, a lower receiver, the whole firearm itself, the complete firearm. I think that's their long game. It's a registry. They want to keep track of who's purchasing this stuff. So eventually down the road, they'll create some sort of law regulation making mandatory buyback or confiscation, taking away our guns and knowing who has the firearms out there. By serializing the upper receivers, that's going to create a lot more inconvenience for gun owners. So you're going to have to do another background check if you want to purchase an upper and lower separately. It's going to cost another transfer fee, more taxes because there is more tax on firearms themselves than if there are for firearm parts. So I mean, there is a lot of effect if that ever were to go into action, and I think that they want that to happen. I mean, they obviously want that to happen. And do you know how hard it would be to buy a different upper of a different caliber size, and just how easy it is now. You can buy one lower and you can have a 5.56, you can have a 300 blackout, you can have a 7.62 by 39, you can have a 458 SOCOM, 350 Legend, and have that one lower. And that's the beauty of the AR-15, and that would take away, people wanting to get into gun buying because it's going to make it harder. And I don't know, like more rules and regulations for law-abiding gun owners, it's never a good thing. And he's not even touching on pistol braces, and eventually he's probably going to try to ban pistol braces. I mean, this is all just speculation and whatnot, but that 300-page report is worded so vaguely that it really does open up the doors to other things. And I really think it's important that people are aware of it. The best thing that you can do, especially with a upcoming non-presidential election, it's our local and state elections coming up, is to write your congressmen, write your senators. I actually, I wanted to do this, and it would be really hard, but I think if somebody has the time, creating state by state a petition to send to the local congressmen that are in office right now, saying, "Hey, if you stand by this, we're not going to vote for you. And if you do sign that petition, stand by that statement. Say, if you support these new gun regulations, I'm not going to vote for you. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're Democrat, whatever political affiliation that you might have. But somebody could come up with a state-by-state petition to send to congressmen. Because honestly, I don't believe the individuals sending these letters to your local congressman do anything. I've heard people say that, hey, the best thing you can do, contact your local congressman, your local senator, and tell them not to support this bill. Honestly, don't think that they care. I honestly don't think that they read it. So I almost don't think it does any good. The only way that I think that they would listen to the people is if enough people signed a petition all saying the same thing, and then stand by that. So if somebody out there wants to create one of those petitions for us, I would greatly appreciate it. The 2A community would greatly appreciate it. In fact, I may at least create one for my state, because that's the one that affects me the most, for the state of Florida. So let me know if somebody lives in Florida that would like to sign it. I may create one, and I may kind of try to spread the news, but I'm not big enough to get that petition out there. I think if there are other gun YouTubers out there that have 100,000, 1,000,000 subscribers, grant them that would do something like that, I think that's where we could actually make some headway. Even Demolition Ranch, you know what I mean? If these guys really were as pro 2A as they said, I think instead of just talking about it, having some sort of action with the platform that they have. Because I honestly, if I had a bigger platform and I had a team of people working for me like some of these people do, I would do that. I would absolutely do that, because my gun rights mean a lot to me. And, our four founders who wrote the Constitution decided that the Second Amendment was the second one that they should write in our Constitution, thought it was probably the second most important one. And they also wrote in there that shall not be infringed. It is the only amendment out of our Constitution that says shall not be infringed. So they worded that in a way and felt that it was so important to say. And slowly, little by little, they're trying to take away our gun rights. I heard another YouTuber say this, they're slowly eating the elephant of our gun rights, or eating it a bite by bite. And, each bite might not hurt as much, but it does eventually consume the whole thing. And that's the end game. Well, at least what I believe is the end game for most politicians out there, whether it be Republican or Democrat. People tend to forget that Trump banned bump stocks, and that opened up the door to start banning non-firearm items and making non-firearm items firearms or machine guns. Now they're going after the FRT-15, and whether or not you want a bump stock, or you want an FR-15, or you think it's a useful item, and it doesn't affect you, it absolutely does if you're a gun owner. Because next thing you know, they're going to start banning other triggers. Next thing you know, they're going to start banning pistol braces. Next thing you know, they're going to start banning, 3D printers and blocks of metal. I posted a video about Matt, and what video I thought got him in trouble And all he was doing was selling a piece of metal with a drawing on it. You know, I wasn't trying to throw Matt under the bus or saying that he was doing anything wrong, because I absolutely don't think he was doing anything wrong. I may not believe he worded it in a way that I would have, and I don't think what he did was the smartest. Why? And this is just my opinion. I think where he screwed up was when he told people to cut it out, use it, and throw it away when they were done. You know, even if it was just in jest, telling people to commit a crime, even jokingly, it's kind of a gray area, and that's where I believe he messed up. I think if he wouldn't have said that, he wouldn't have gotten in trouble. But you know, that's just a small piece of the 2A pie. And whether or not you support or agree with Matt, whether or not you support or agree with other YouTubers like Mr. Guns and Gear or even Yankee Marshall, you know, I definitely don't agree with everything Yankee Marshall has to say. I think he's a little bit of a FUD, but I'd much rather have a guy like Yankee Marshall on our side than not. I'd much rather have a guy like Matt on our side than not. We are a community. And something I think we as a community can work on is learning to get along with each other a little bit better. Regardless of not whether you agree with them or like what they run or like what they have to say, because I definitely don't. You know, I hear people bashing people, other Pro 2A people for the gear that they run, making fun of them, telling them, you know, they're so stupid that, you know, their guns are going to break down. Why would you ever want to defend your life with that crap? You know, it's those things that will steer people away from the 2A community. And that's the last thing that we need. We need more people purchasing firearms, getting behind, you know, the Pro 2A movement in order to keep our rights. So quit scaring people off by being an asshole. If there's truly a way or if there's truly a reason why you're giving your opinion and your constructive criticism towards something, there's a tactful way to do it. Quit being an asshole. Just get along with them. You know, there's a way, like I said, just to tell them, like, hey, you may not want to run this piece of gear because just from my experience, it hasn't been the best. And if you personally don't have any experience with that gear, quit calling it a POS, because guess what? It might not be. You know, I hear people hate on me a whole lot about running overlights, but I'm going to tell you that just from my experience and being in the U.S. Army, I ran an incandescent Surefire, and that thing was a hell of a lot less reliable than this Olight was. Is this the most reliable light? Is this the best light on the market? It is absolutely not, but it's bright. It turns on when I want it to, and it works. It produces light. It's a flashlight, people. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Just because it's not a stream light, just because it's not a cloud defensive, just because it's not a Surefire, doesn't mean it's a piece of shit and it's going to blow up on me. I've never had a no light blow up on me. Do I think it's a great brand? No, it's Chinese made, but so are Holosuns. I like Holosuns too. But anyway, going to get off my soapbox because I just wanted to do an update, not just on you know, the frames and receivers regulation, but just an update video on some of the parts and things that I'm working on. First things first, I injured myself. So if you see me racking my guns a little bit weird to safety check them, it's because I cut myself pretty deep there. So it's really in a bad spot. Pro tip, don't cut towards yourself, always cut away from yourself. So anyway, I wanted to show a little piece of gear that I put into this. It is I purchased a Ghost Evo connector, and it isn't a drop-in part, but it took some smithing. But once I got it in there and sanded down to the way that I wanted, it's a nice rolling brake. It actually got this firearm down to, or this trigger down to about 3 pounds. So it's got a nice, like I said, rolling brake, no over travel on after the brake. And like I said, I think it brakes right at 3 pounds. I'm going to test the reliability of it. There you go. Pretty much consistently breaks right at 3 pounds, maybe a little bit over 3 pounds, but pretty much right at 3 pounds. Very light trigger. I did change the spring in this. I changed the safety plunger spring for a reduced power safety plunger spring. I did not change the firing pin assembly spring or the striker spring, whatever you want to call it. But man, I'm going to start testing out the reliability of this, seeing if it's actually reliable. I've heard some pretty mixed things about ghost connectors, mainly on the reset, but I haven't had any issues on the reset. The reset works for me. So maybe it's, you know, like I said, because you kind of have to sand it down, mill it down to fit your firearm. And each person's firearm's a little bit different. Maybe that's where they're going wrong. So, like I said, I can't attest whether or not this is reliable. Just from my experience, aftermarket connectors, unless they're like a dot connector, a minus connector, like these 3.5 pound connectors aren't the most reliable out there. So I would have to think something that you're heavily modifying in a pistol might not be the most reliable, and you might not want to depend on that weapon to save your life. You may just want to delegate that firearm to, you know, a range toy or a testing weapon like I do. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Another thing that I've been working on is not this firearm in general. I just threw this 300 blackout upper on here, but I am testing some parts out. Bought a 20 round Lancer mag for my 300 blackout. Really like Lancer mags. I'm really starting to become a big fan of Lancer mags here. And I like these little 20 rounders. I bought a couple of 20 rounders for a 5.56 and this 300 blackout. But especially for these smaller, like CQB style weapons, these 20 rounders are coming in handy, where the 30 rounders stick out a little bit more, a little more cumbersome. So something I just noticed. I did purchase a different charging handle that I really have been interested in for a long time, and that's this Break Arms Warhammer Mod 2. And I wanted to see if it could run with the big dogs, and you know, the Aero Precision Breach, the Geisley charging handle, obviously the Radian. The Radian is my personal like go-to and favorite charging handle if I'm looking at, you know, top tier charging handle companies. But I've really been looking at this, and I think this MSRP's for about 45 or 40 bucks. You can find this on a regular basis for 35 from a lot of different retailers. I ended up finding this charging handle from AR-15 discounts for 31 or 32, and they don't charge shipping and they don't charge tax. Well, they don't charge shipping after a certain amount, and I can easily spend $150 on gun parts, especially when they're on sale. So I bought this charging handle. It's got a lot of features on it. One thing that I don't like, I really don't like, it's got a pretty aggressive texture, and it's pretty thin. It's about half as wide in the actual handle itself as a Radian Raptor. So that's the downside to it. But for the feature set, the lifetime warranty, from what I've seen, there's this really small YouTuber out there. He had an issue with the Warhammer. I mean, the guy had like 13 subscribers. Break Arms went to his video saying how much he hated the Warhammer because it broke or something. And Break Arms commented on his channel, said, send us a charging handle, we'll send you a new one. We want to make it right. And that really impressed me with Break Arms. So they're a little more of a budget company. They sell muzzle devices and stuff. I've been looking maybe to purchase a muzzle device, like muzzle brake and stuff from them. They do, it looks like some high quality stuff, and their charging handle to me looks like it's high quality, and it looks like they stand by their products. So for the 35 bucks or less that you can find these for, I'd say it's a pretty good deal, especially when top tier charging handles are you know, 60 to, let's call it all the way up to $100. I've seen some Radians go for, you know, 100 or 115 if you're looking at the SDs, which are for, you know, suppressed weapons. I don't run suppressed weapons, so I'm not really into it. But this is actually supposed to help with suppressed weapons as it deflects the gas. It's got a little gas deflector on there. It's got a little lip on the top. It seems like it's a pretty good charging handle for the money, but definitely not my favorite charging handle. But I am running some testing to see how well that it works. And I did want to touch on the ADM lower. Because I purchased an ADM upper here recently, waiting on it to get to me. I purchased an ADM UIC Mod 2 16-inch. I really would have preferred the 14.5 or 13.9 pen and welded. Comes with Magpul Inbus Pro flip-up sights. It comes with either a Griffin armament or a Surefire muzzle device. I've seen conflicting reviews on it. And then a QPQ nitrided bolt carrier group, a nice M-lock handguard, and Criterion barrel. So, and a Radian Raptor charging handle. I picked that complete upper up for $1,040 shipped with expedited shipping. So it was just a little over $1,000 normally. I saved about $250 to $300 if I would have purchased it straight from ADM's website. Like I said, I would have much rather had the shorter pen and welded barrel or complete upper. But for that price, I really couldn't turn it down. And I wanted to, I was thinking about doing a build for this ADM ambidextrous lower. It's a really nice lower. I purchased this lower a few months back and stuff, but from used from a guy down in Miami. Thank you, Roger. And a lower, another lower on top of this. And like I said, I was thinking about doing a high-end build for this. I really haven't tried a like no expenses spared upper receiver build. So I just decided just to buy a complete ADM upper, run that for a little while, kind of see what a high-end AR-15 feels like. I've never really owned my own high-end AR-15 before, so this will be my first endeavor into the like really high-end AR-15 market. I'm more or less a budget builder and a mid-grade builder. That, you know, lightweight build that I'm working on, I'd say that's more of a higher end type build. But I've definitely got some budget items for it. Anyway, this ADM build, I went ahead and purchased a Geissele SSAE two-stage trigger. Trigger is really nice. It's got a nice smooth take-up, right? Crisp brake, no over travel on the brake, and then it's got a really nice reset. I can tell it's a really nice trigger. I picked up this trigger for $186 shipped. One thing I didn't like about the trigger, and this is just a small gripe of mine, look at this packaging. Came in a plastic bag with some wax paper and a like copy paper instruction manual stapled to it. I mean, come on, Geissele. I mean, this is a 240 MSRP AR-15 trigger. And just for comparison, I purchased a LaRue MBT-2S, and this is the packaging it came with. It came with an extra spring if you want like a heavier spring. It's got a nice, you know, injection plastic molded you know, insert for your fire control group. I mean, and it's made out of S7 tool steel, whereas the Geissele SSAE is made out of, you know, basic mil-spec metal. What is it, Carpenter 158 or 9310, something like that. I mean, it's a good trigger. It subjectively feels better than the LaRue. The LaRue's take-up isn't as smooth. The brake isn't as clean, and it has over travel on after the brake too. Whereas you can see here with the Geissele, there's the reset, there's the brake. There's basically no over travel on that brake. So I mean the Geissele is a better trigger, but Most people pay $240 for that trigger, where I paid $111 after shipping. It's a $99 or $100 trigger, whatever you want to call it, for the LaRue MBT2S. So, I paid $70 more for this Geisley. I definitely think the Geisley's worth $70 more than the LaRue. Now, people can find the LaRue sometimes on sale for like 80 or 90 bucks. If you're paying $240 for a Geisley, when you can get a LaRue for 90, 100 bucks, I think the LaRue is worth $100 all day. Especially, if you're really like an experienced shooter, the Geisley may, give you that extra edge, but that LaRue is actually a really good trigger for the money. There aren't a whole lot of other $100 triggers that I can think are as good as the LaRue, and that includes single stage triggers that I've tried and things of that sort. So, yeah, that's the Geisley SSAE that I want to do some testing on once I get my ADM UIC Mod 2 upper. I've got a PWS buffer tube and rationing castle nut end plate on the way. I purchased a Magpul ACS stock for the ADM build that I'm doing. An OD green, K2 Plus grip in OD green. I got a Radiant Talon on the way. It's just a mil-spec safety selector. I wanted to try out a Radiant Talon, and typically a Radiant Talon is supposed to go in the ADM lower anyway. And I've actually heard conflicting things about what trigger comes in the ADM lower. I've heard an SSAE, I've heard a Geisley G2S, I've heard of another trigger from another company than Geisley, an ADM lower. So there's definitely conflicting things on the internet on what triggers come in the ADM lower. So I just went ahead, decided to put everything that I wanted together on the ADM instead of purchasing a whole rifle. The whole rifle would have cost me, I think, like $2,200 altogether, whereas with everything that I purchased for the ADM with no optic, I'm still choosing the optic. I think I'm right at $1,600 for the rifle, including the Geisley, including the buffer tube, including the stock, the grip, the safety selector. So I saved about $500 to $700 on that build. Plus, I got to pick what I wanted on that rifle. I'm still trying to decide what optic that I want to run on the ADM. I'm pretty much on the fence about two different ones. I'll probably end up purchasing both because I've always wanted both. One just came out, but I've always been interested in the Vortex Strike Eagle, even in the second focal plane. They just came out with the first focal plane 1:8 Strike Eagle. I'll probably buy that because I think a first focal plane optic on that 16-inch ADM upper will go perfectly. The only thing I don't like about that 1:8 Strike Eagle, it weighs like 23.9 ounces. It is a heavy optic, and I'll probably just go ahead and buy an ADM Recon quick detach 30 millimeter mount for that optic as well. And I'm probably looking at a 30 ounce addition to that rifle, almost 2 pounds. That's what I don't like. So the other optic that I'm thinking about purchasing is a Eotech XPS2. I found a brand new Eotech XPS2 shipped to my door for like $470. So never had an Eotech XPS2. Really don't want the XPS3. Not really looking to get night vision capable. The only thing I don't like about the Eotechs are the battery life. So the battery life kind of sucks on them. I do kind of like, with an LPVO, even if the battery dies, it's still operational. Even if, like I said, you don't have batteries, whereas like an Eotech is basically useless without a battery. I thought about ordering a Primary Arms Cyclops, prism optic, one-time prism optic for it, but I don't know. I should have bought one back when they were 250 bucks and they run their 12% off site, website sale that they do about once a month. Um, came about 250 bucks after tax. For the optic, when they bumped their prices up to 270 now, and their 12% off coupon doesn't work. So it's a $300 optic after tax and shipping and everything. So I'd rather just spend the extra $200 and either get the Strike Eagle first focal plane or the Eotech. So that's my plan for this lower, and I'll be doing some testing. Bought all that ammunition recently so I could do more testing. I don't buy the ammunition just to stockpile. I do train and test with it. 62 grain green tips aren't the most accurate. They aren't the best. It's a good all-around cartridge and grain size, especially for a 1-in-8 twist barrel. But it's not my preferred ammunition, but it works for a lot of different applications. Whereas like M193 I don't think is as versatile. And, like your self-defense, boat tails, hollow points, stuff like that are definitely more expensive. So I'm more or less trying to test a lot of different products out right now. And if there's one thing that I wish my channel did have, it isn't, free products and sponsorships and affiliate links or anything like that. It would be ammunition costs, as that's really my biggest bottleneck as far as testing goes, or my ammunition costs for testing all these different items and stuff. So another thing that I purchased, I got a really good deal on it. I'll go ahead and let's see if I can pull it out here. It's I'm really interested in testing it out because I haven't tested a whole lot of lightweight bolt carrier groups out there on the market, and I got another Sharps Rifle Company bolt carrier group, and this is the lightweight bolt carrier group, and the DLC coating. It's the SRC XPB BCG lightweight, and I got this. I really like Sharps Rifle Company bolt carrier groups. I really like their website. They do offer sales pretty much all the time, at least on one bolt carrier group or another. This was 180 bucks shipped, so they don't charge shipping. They don't charge tax. It's an out-the-door price. Plus, I get points for it. That gives me a bigger discount. The more points that I use, I got like 500, 600 points saved up right now, giving me like another $10 off my next purchase if I wanted to use them all together. Looks like a really nice, high-quality bolt carrier group. I thought about throwing this in the ADM just to smooth out the recoil impulse, but I'll probably just leave everything stock. I'll probably throw this in another build, but you can never have too many bolt carrier groups, in my opinion. It's definitely a wearing part. Another thing that I picked up a couple of gas blocks. It really was only one. I put this one together for my lightweight build. This is obviously a small diameter gas block, a 0.625 profiled gas block. It is adjustable. It's adjustable with the set screw. It's more or less adjust it once and forget it, as you're going to get carbon lock on this type of adjustable gas block. There are ways to get that carbon lock off, but it's more of like I said, adjust it once or twice to figure out how well the rifle runs, and forget it. Got the nitrided gas tube installed on it and everything. I got this from a company called Untitled. It's like a Connecticut or New Hampshire, somewhere up there in the New England area. They basically sell gas blocks, and that's their bread and butter, it looks like. So it's a very inexpensive gas block. It was a set screw. It was one of the cheapest adjustable gas blocks I could find. I was really on the fence about purchasing a Superlative Arms adjustable gas block. Kept on seeing it pop up for like I want to say like about 70 bucks for this 0.625 diameter gas block for the Superlative Arms. It's definitely a higher quality gas block. I like being able to adjust it whenever on the fly, whenever I want to. But I think for that lightweight build, saying that I'll be running that Brownell's titanium nitrided bolt carrier group in it, it's going to be one of those kind of set it and forget it recoil impulses that I'm looking for. So I just decided to go with this cheap adjustable gas block. I got the gas tube and the gas block. I believe it was like 40 bucks for both, and you know, I installed it myself, but if you want to get it installed, I think it's like a $4 up cost and stuff. Eotech seems to stand by their products too, as the post office, they sent me a package with nothing in it. It has some hot sauce and a roll pan, and it was supposed to have a gas tube and a gas block. I contacted Eotech about it, and they just sent me another one. So really seems like a really good company. I have yet to try out the gas block, but that is something that I'm going to try. And I mean, I am going to get around to that lightweight build. The reason why I haven't finished that lightweight build, I have all the parts for it. I've purchased a Fortis SLS gold safety selector, a Fortis K2 castle nut end plate in gold. I think I said that. I am waiting on the stock. I'm getting a Mission First Tactical lightweight battle stock, whatever you want to call it. The reason why I haven't finished that build is because I want it Cerakoted. I'm going to get it Cerakoted along with this Glock, the upper and the lower. Going to get the lower stippled and everything as well. But quite honestly, like spending the $400 for that Cerakote work really isn't in my budget right now. There are other things I think are more pertinent to spend my money on, like ammunition, like upper receivers, like bolt carrier groups. Whereas, you know, like cost of goods is going up, cost of ammunition and basic commodities is going up. Whereas I think I can always get it Cerakoted and stippled from my stipple and Cerakote guys. So that's why I haven't finished that build. I really want to, but I don't want to put everything together to take it apart to get it Cerakoted. You know, it's kind of a hassle to take it apart once it's put together, or at least I don't like to until I've run it for a little while and I need to change something out on it anyway. So that's just my thinking on it. So that's why you haven't seen an update on that lightweight build. But trust me, I really want to fire that. I want to see like what that rifle weighs when everything's put together. Like I said, I got that Battle Arms Development rigid rail. I've always wanted to try out something from Battle Arms Development. Really interested to see how well that Faxon lightweight match grade barrel holds up. You know, lightweight builds or lightweight barrels are notorious for not holding zero after, you know, a handful of rounds, because, you know, the barrel needs to cool off in order to group tighter again, at least from what I've heard. So I'm kind of curious to see if that match grade barrel is good, more or less. So I am looking forward to putting all that stuff together, and trust me, I really want to. I'm about just to throw it together, but the Cerakote work that I've already got the guy, you know, he gave me a estimate for everything, and if I get the pistol and the AR-15 Cerakoted together, it'll save me a little bit of money. There's another Glock lower I want to get Cerakoted and stippled. The ADM, I got the ACS stock and the K2 grip in OD green. I'm going to Cerakote the ADM in OD green. I actually might get that like a multicam. I might get it hydro dip, because I never tried hydro dipping. But like all that, you know, aesthetic paint jobs and stuff like that, you know, it's kind of lower on my list. I would much rather spend the money on testing ammunition parts, but I do plan on getting around to it. But that's kind of why you haven't seen an update on that build. So I do apologize if you've been looking forward to seeing an update on that build, but I do have some other projects in the works. I do have some other reviews that I have in the works. I am just working on the testing on it. So I don't try to just buy a product and do a review on it. I want to actually do some real world testing out there, at least so I can give you an honest assessment on my experience, if it's reliable or not. Because some parts that I do test to defend my life with. And some parts I don't. Some parts are just for fun. But I think it's important that that a part gets a significant amount of testing, and what I consider a significant amount of testing is at least 500 rounds through it in order to at least gain some sense of reliability of it. So that's what I'm currently waiting on with some of my reviews and stuff. So don't worry. I have some more reviews in the works. Like I said, I just really want to make sure that the information I put out there is at least good in my eyes. So the whole point of my channel is, to give you the information on the products that I review in an honest way. And the most honest way that I know how to do it is A, from my own experience, and B, by not taking free products from people and then giving you my review on it. I think that really skews a view. And if you ever see a video of mine and you want to know where I get the parts and where to get the parts for the cheapest, I will tell you 100%. I don't have any affiliate links. I'm not associated with any of these manufacturers. I don't have any relationships with any retailers. I hope that I can save you some money somehow, and I will absolutely guide you to the cheapest route to purchase whatever product that you're looking at. Because if I'm being transparent, when I watch these other YouTubers and they have these deals pages and reviews on like, hey, I found this great deal online, they have an affiliate link for it. So it isn't the best deal out there. It's a deal. It might be a good deal, but it's not a great deal. It's not the best deal. It's a deal that allows them to make money. That's what they are. And if you want to support channels like that's great. They make content. It takes their time. They deserve support too. So just remember that when you're looking at these affiliate links. I won't have affiliate links. I won't post links for that reason, because I don't want people to feel like I am an affiliate link person. But I just want you to know I will absolutely answer whatever questions you have about a product to the best of my ability and from my own experience, because your mileage may vary. A part that works in general for me, you may not have that best experience of. Everyone gets lemons out there. But just remember, if you ever do have an issue with a product, don't go at a manufacturer or retailer with guns blazing. From my experience, if I ever had an issue with a product, all I do is I contact either that retailer or that manufacturer, and I always approach it this way, 100%. I say, hey, I'm having an issue with a product that I purchased. Is it typical that this is happening? And 99 times out of 100, they'll tell me, no, that isn't right. I'm sorry that's happened to you. Here's how we can make it right. And usually they'll let me keep the product and they'll send me a brand new one at no cost to me. Any reputable manufacturer or retailer out there should be willing to do that. Retailers a little bit different. Normally they'll ask for the product back, but manufacturer, they'll usually let you at least keep the product. For example, I purchased that Suarez Street Comp, and there was nothing wrong with it as far as how it works or anything. But when I got it, I bought it brand new. I don't know if you can see it. It's got these machining marks on it, like something's wrong with it, and it's just aesthetic, right? It was definitely it's just sloppy. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's scratched on the side of the comp too. All I did was contact Suarez and look, I purchased a brand new comp and I found all these marks on it. Is that typical for you guys? And the guy from customer service, he's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how that happened." He said, "Just keep the comp and we'll send you a new one." So I basically got two working comps for the price of one, and that wasn't my intention by it. I just wanted to bring it to their attention in case other people, if they got a bad batch or something like that, and we're sending these blemished comps to people as brand new. But I appreciate that about Suarez. In fact, I'll probably purchase more parts from them, even parts that I think are inferior or that I'm not all that interested in, just to support a company like that, because I want more companies out there that stand by their products. I want more, um, reputable manufacturers and retailers out there, and I'm willing to support those companies, and you should too. Most of the time when I do reviews, if I give a good review on a manufacturer, I've done all the research about it. I've already researched the product. I've already researched the company. I've usually at least contacted the customer support, asked them a question. The reason I ask them a question is to see how quickly they get back to me and what they say about it. I typically don't have issues with the product, but if I do, I'll give you my experience if how well that issue has been resolved. I had an issue with Killer Innovations magazine extension. I just asked them, hey, this spring doesn't seem like it's right. This follower doesn't fit in it. The rounds are shaking around, so the spring isn't all that tight in there. Is that typical? They sent me three brand new springs for the magazine extension. At no cost to me. And I didn't ask for it. I even offered to pay for shipping because I didn't expect that from them. But I appreciate that from Killer Innovations. I appreciate that customer support from Killer Innovations gets to me about really mundane questions about products that I might, questions on products that I might have within an hour or two after me asking it during business hours. Like, that to me means a lot as a consumer. And I don't know. Also, I'll continue to support companies like that. Do I think they make expensive slides? Yeah, but they're totally worth it. Especially customer service is that good. Especially if I know I have an issue with that slide. I know that they're going to take care of me. That really means a lot to me. And I always preach that a good customer service team and a good customer service experience will always add value to whatever product that you're purchasing. But, that's the whole point of my channel, is reviewing products, making sure that you have the information out there whether or not you would like to purchase that product. If I don't touch on something that you have a question on that I may not have posted in that review, please ask. I'm an open book. I'll give you my, like I said, I'll give you my real world experience on it. And if I don't know the question, I will try to find the answer for you. I will do work in order to get the right information out there to people. I think that's my responsibility of being a YouTuber and a person that reviews products. It's my responsibility to get the best information out there possible. I will get you the best price possible, and I don't know. I'm very open. If you have any issues with gun building, I will absolutely try to get your gun running right, or get you pointed to a person, to a video, to something that will help you complete a build, remedy a build, whatever it may be. I make mistakes too, so I mean, that's again the whole point of my channel. I think I have a passion towards this. I have a gift towards finding good deals. I have a gift towards putting guns together, and I think it's my duty to the 2A community to share all that with you guys. I don't care about making money. I don't care about getting free products. The only product I wish I could get for free is ammunition. That would really, really help me. I could care less about the gun parts. I'm going to purchase guns and gun parts regardless. Ammunition, the one reason I buy ammunition is because I need it to test. I need it to defend my life with. Like I said, the guns and gun parts, I was going to purchase that stuff anyway. It's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm into guns, so regardless if I'm doing videos or not, doing the same stuff that I'm doing anyway, except I'm recording it and giving you my opinions on it. So I don't know. Ammunition would really help, man. Yeah. I'm not asking anybody to send me ammunition, but if anyone ever wanted to, I am all open ears for it. In fact, I probably buy ammunition from somebody at, whatever cost, as long as it was a good price, um, if that offer was out there. But I've already decided for myself for this channel, I'm not going to take free products. I'm not going to do affiliate links. I'm not going to be monetized. I don't care how big I get. I've decided in my head, I don't care about any of that stuff. Uh, I kept on thinking, man, yeah, it would be nice to get this for free, that for free. But you know what? That's once I get to that point, I'm going to become like every other big gun YouTuber out there, where I'm not going to point out anybody, but there's things that bother me that they say. They say it's only because you're donating to me, I'm making these videos. That's absolute horseshit. There was one point in time where they were making videos because they wanted to, because they just felt like it. They didn't need your support. They didn't need your money. They didn't need retailers' free things in order to make videos. They could make videos for free. Now, granted, I know there are some people out there that do YouTube to make a living, but I will never get to that point. I'll always have a 9 to 5. I don't care how big I'll get. I never want to rely on this in order to make a living, especially as something as iffy as guns and gun parts. YouTube already hates guns and gun parts just in general, so I never want to ever rely on that for making a living on. But that's my 2 cents, and I really went off on a tangent. There's a lot of information in this video. I went on, things happening in our community, in the 2A community, some of my projects, why I haven't gotten to some of my projects, parts that I purchased, a little bit of the prices and where I've gotten them from, and the whole point of this channel. I want to keep on reminding you guys what the point of my channel is, because I make this for not only me, but for you guys too. I hope I can help somebody out there make a good purchase. I hope I can help somebody out there get into guns. I hope I can help somebody out there build a gun correctly. I hope I can help somebody out there save a little bit of money too. That's all I really want out of this. But hey, if you made it through a 50+ minute video of me just ranting and kind of going off, I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support that everyone gives. I appreciate the comments, the subscribers. I'm almost up to 500. Whew, great. I don't do this for the subscribers, but I do this a little bit for you guys. So even if you aren't subscribed to my channel and you ever have a question, please feel free. Don't think I know it all, or I don't even think I mean, I definitely don't know it all. But if there's something that you think I could do better, I'm always open up to criticism too. I'm just human. But I appreciate you guys, and thank you for watching.